That's right, you've read the video title correctly. James Degale has signed with Al Haymon. He's the latest British fighter to sign with him. I remember Eddie Hearn talking in several interviews over the past year or so about Al Haymon and how he sees what Al Haymon is doing and what he is doing as separate because it's two different markets. And he pretty much was saying, I guess, I'm assuming that was kind of wishful thinking on Eddie Hearn's behalf, but he was kind of saying that he doesn't see himself as being in competition with Al Haymon. Well, I don't know the exact details of James Degale's move to sign with Haymon. I don't know whether he's still attached to Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Sport in any way, but the word on the grapevine is, and again, this is not fact, it's just a word on the grapevine. I read this from an article and they're saying that sources close to James Degale are informing them of this. And that is that James Degale is still open to working with Eddie Hearn in some type of capacity, which would seem to indicate, if that's true, that he's actually not under contract with Hearn anymore and that he's now with Haymon, but he's not, you know, he doesn't have beef with Hearn. He's willing to work with him again in the future, but he's now a Haymon fighter. That's the way I interpreted that, if it's in fact true. So let me know what you think of this, people. Do you think that this is going to see James Degale fighting over in the United States? James Degale, he's a strange character to me. I'm still trying to find out exactly what makes him tick. He obviously enjoys making lots of money. When he found out that he was going to go to the United States to face Andre Durrell for the vacant IBF title, he really didn't seem that down. He said, oh yeah, at first I wanted to fight in front of my fans, but then I thought, you know what, I don't really care. I'll go to America, make a load of money. And he seemed perfectly happy. He was perfectly comfortable over in America. He's a very relaxed fighter anyway in general, James Degale. But he seemed perfectly comfortable going over to America. He was perfectly happy winning over there, as long as he was getting paid, which he was, because Uncle Al pretty much paid him in that fight, because Uncle Al, through Warriors Boxing, won the purse bid and paid him a hell of a lot more than he probably would have got paid if the fight was in the UK on the Eddie Hearn show. So yeah, he was happy to do that over there. Maybe he'll be happy to base himself in America from now on. Maybe he don't really care about building up a fan base in the UK the way that Eddie Hearn does it with his pay-per-view model and all that. Maybe he's perfectly happy to base himself in the US, fight on PBC cards. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. Or could it be the thing that Eddie Hearn fears most, and that is that Al Haymon plans to put on shows in the UK? Imagine that. He would need, as Eddie Hearn has said many times, a broadcaster, so it seems unlikely. Maybe he'll work with James Degale in conjunction with Eddie Hearn putting on the shows in the UK. Maybe that's how it will work. But again, that could be a foot in the door for Al Haymon. If he's doing, if he's using Eddie Hearn the same way that he uses Warriors Boxing and Lou DiBella and all these other promoters in the US, and then he's going to come to the UK and try and do that with Eddie Hearn and try and do that with other promoters, that's a foot in the door for Al Haymon, and that's a way for him to actually start taking over UK boxing as well. World domination is on Uncle Al's mind. These promoters must be worried. We'll see what happens. Drop your comments below. Let me know how you feel about this move, and if you've got any extra information, any more up-to-date, more accurate information about this story, then drop it in the comment section. It's Haymon, I'm out.